This course is going to be different, not like the usual Flutter course you have seen before. Most Flutter courses teach you how to build UI, some teach you how to connect a Firebase, but very few show you how to build something truly modern. Because today the world is changing and everything is moving towards AI. And as a developer, it's not enough to just build apps, we need to build smart apps. Hi, I am Shivam, and in this course, we are not just going to learn Flutter, but we are going to build an AI powered application from the scratch. An app where the user can enter ingredients and AI will generate complete recipe instantly. You will learn how to design a beautiful UI, work with Firebase, and most importantly, integrate AI into your apps. This course is designed in a way that even if you are beginner, you can follow along and step by step without feeling overwhelmed. And by the end of this course, you won't just have an app, you will have the confidence to build your own AI powered applications. So before we move forward, if you have an amazing app idea but you don't have a time or skills to develop an app, don't worry, my team will develop the app for you. So you can search for my startup name, which is an app crafting. At app crafting, we transform ideas into powerful, beautiful mobile experience. Whether you are a startup or a business ready to scale, we design, build and launch your app fast, professional and ready for the world. You can just fill out the contact form and get a quote. Just fill out your name, your last name and your email and your requirements as well. And after submitting this form, my team will reach you out to develop your app for both Play Store and App Store. I'm going to create a login and sign up page UI. Then I'm going to show you that how we are going to connect this with a Firebase. Okay, so now again I'm going to use the image. So this is the image that I'm going to pass as a background image, and we have just added a fonts. You can find all the things like about an image that I'm adding over here in our asset folder that I'm simply going to provide you in this course. Right now we'll just move, and here I'm going to create a leaf folder, and in the leaf folder I'm going to create a new folder name like pages, and inside the pages folder I'm going to create a new file name which is like login page. So I'm going to first create a login page, or let's create a sign up page, then we are going to create a login page. So I'm going to write sign up.dart, and first I'm going to import the package by using material.dart, and we need to pass a stateful widget or a page name which will be like just an sign up. Right now once we do this, now let's pass a scaffold, a body and we need to use a stack widget. As I've told you that we need to overlap two widgets one over the another, so we need to use a stack widget. And here I need to just write container. Let's first pass the children. Container will just use a width, and we'll use media query dot of context dot size dot width. Okay, then I need to just pass a child image dot asset images folder name, and then I need to just write bg.png. Okay, so this is the image that I need to use. I will just navigate to the sign up page, something like this. Okay, over here I need to use remove this debug banner, so we'll just pass up to false. Okay, now once we do this, now here I need to just pass a column widget, children, text widget back again, and here I need to just pass create an account text. Okay, just pass the styling text style color, let's pass colors dot white, let's pass the font size which will like 20.0, and we'll pass a font family which will be like an Poppins bold. Okay, so Poppins bold. Okay, so this is what that we have done. Right, so now once we do this, now let's move, and we are going to use a class method so that we don't need to write the styling again and again. So here we'll move, and we're going to create a new folder named services. Inside the services folder, let's create a new file name which will be like support widget dot. We are going to create a class name app widget. Okay, I've told about all the things like why we are doing in our chapter 3, I guess, right? So now I need to pass static text style, then I need to pass headline text style. Okay, let's pass the double first. We'll maintain the size. Let's raise the size. Then I need to just pass the styling, and let's cut this text style from here. Let's paste this directly. Return, let's paste this. Let's call colors dot white. We are going to maintain the color as well, so let's maintain the color as well. Color, I will just write color. Let's pass the color over here and just maintain the size as well. Okay, so let's write a size. Okay, so this is the thing. Now we have just passed this. Now here I can just pass the styling by using app widget class dot headline. Let's pass 18.0. Color, we are going to just maintain the color, which will like colors dot white. Okay, now we need to increase the font size up to 20.0, and we need to use /n so that we can change the line. We are going to center this, so I'll just wrap up with a center widget. Need to pass the spacing, so I'll write size box height. We'll just pass 90.0 so that it will be at the center. Spacing is size is too less. Let's pass up to 30. Okay, we'll center this, so we'll write text align dot center so that it will be at the complete center, something like this. Okay, so now once we do this, now I'm going to create a curve container, something like this. So again, in the stack widget, I'm going to just write a inside a column widget, I'm going to just write container. We'll write a width. We'll use a media query dot of context dot size dot width. Then I need to pass a decoration, and we need to pass a color, colors dot white. Okay, now here I need to pass the border radius dot only. I need this from the top left, so I need to pass radius dot circular 30, and from the top right radius dot circular, which will be like 30, something like this. Now you can't see this because we haven't passed anything, so I'll just pass a size box first. We'll just maintain the height of 30.0. Now here I need to pass child, a column column children, and now you can see that. But let's write a text widget, and let's first write an email styling and app widget class dot. We'll use a medium, so I'm going to create another function for medium text style. Let's paste this over here. Let's write medium text style, and we are going to just change this to medium. Okay, wait a second, medium. Yeah, it's done. So we can just write dot medium text style 18.0. Color, we can just pass colors dot black. Okay, now you can see this. So basically what I need to do is that I need this container to use a complete height of the screen. Now if you are going to use a height, it's not going to be very responsive. So I've told you about that expanded widget. So I'm going to just wrap up this with expanded widget, and I'll just tell the container to use a complete height of the screen, something like this, right? I need to pass a spacing from the top, so let's pass 20.0. Okay, I need to move all the text to the left side, so you know what we need to do. We need to just use a cross axis alignment dot start, something like this. Let's pass padding as well, so just write padding edge inset dot only from the left 20.0, right? And then I need to show the text field. So for the text field, I'm going to just write a container. Basically a text field is something where the user can enter their email. I haven't told about a text field before, so this is the first time we are using the text field in this series. So the text field is something where the user will going to type a text through the keyboard, right? So now I'm going to just pass a child, and we just need to write a text field, something like this. Now I need to create a custom text field with a color, so I need to pass box decoration color. Let's pass colors dot gray, something like this. Okay, now I need to use a width. I think so we don't, because it going to use a complete width of the screen automatically. I just need to maintain the color, something like this, or maybe up to this. Okay, I guess that's enough. Let's copy the size box. Let's paste this over here. Let's write up to 10, but let's pass padding from the right 20.0. Basically you can see this is the line. I don't need this line, so what I need to do, I just need to write decoration, input decoration border input border dot none. I'm telling that I don't need any line from a text field side, so I'm telling that I need a none borders from the text field side. Okay, so it will remove a border from here, right? I need to provide the border radius, so here I need to pass border radius dot circular will just pass up to 60, something like this, right? Now this is the email. Now if you want to show the email icon, you can just move to the input decoration and you can pass a suffix icon. Okay, and in the suffix icon we can just write icon, which will like icons dot email, something like this. Sorry, not suffix, it's like prefix. Sorry, prefix icon. Yeah, so this is the icon that you can display over here. If you want, you can change the color of this icon. Maybe you can just keep colors dot orange. Yeah, or let's keep it black only, right? Let's keep it black. Yeah, so black. So email, so user will going to simply type the email something like this, and you can see that how it will going to look. Okay, rather than suffix prefix icon, I'll recommend that use directly an icon. That will be much better. Okay, because you can get that at the complete center, and we can just pass a padding as insert dot only from the left 10.0. Okay, let's pass 20.0. Yeah, so now you can see this, we can get at the complete center. So you know that we are creating a sign up page. So in our sign up process, we are going to add three things, which is like a name, email and password. So we are going to allow the user to authenticate in the app by using a name, email and the password, right? So this is the first one. I'm going to just copy this size box back again, and I'll just paste this over here, because just above this I want to show like a name. So I'm going to just write name, and we are going to just change the icon as well. So here I'm going to just change the icon, which will be like a person icon. So I'll just write person, something like this, name, email, and the third one that we need, which will be like a password. So I'm going to just change this to a password, something like this, and we are going to just change the icons dot password, right? So this is how you can just pass name, email and password. And once you create this, now we are going to just create one button, which will like a create account button, so that once the user fill all the text field, we are going to allow them to authenticate in the app, right? By using a email authentication. We are going to cover all the email authentication, Google authentication in coming chapters, right? So now what I'm going to do is that here I'm going to just create a custom button container decoration, a box decoration color. Let's pass colors dot black. Then I need this container to use a complete width of the screen, so I'll write media query dot of context dot size dot width. I'll just pass a child text widget. In the text widget I can just pass a text, which is like in create account. Okay, let's pass the styling and app widget class dot, and we can use like headline text style 18.0, and let's maintain the color, which will like colors dot white. Okay, so now you can see this. Now we can just center this with help of center widget. Let's pass margin as insert dot only from the left 20 and from the right 20. Okay, now let's pass the size box height. Let's pass 30.0. okay, now we can just maintain the height. Let's pass up to 50, or let's pass up to 60. Okay, let's now pass border radius dot circular, which will like up to 60. Okay, that's perfect. You can see that this is the button that we have created. Okay, now once the user want to sign up in the app by using an email authentication, they can fill all the text field and click to this create account button, right? Now for example, if they don't want to do this and they want to use a Google authentication, then we need to show the sign in with Google, right? We need to use a text widget, and in the text widget I need to just pass, or let's pass the styling by using an app widget class dot medium text style. Let's pass the font size up to 18, and we are going to just maintain the color, which will like colors dot black, and we are going to use a different shade of an black color, maybe up to this. Okay, or let's pass up to this. Yeah, I guess that's okay, and we are going to increase the font size to 20. I am going to directly center this with help of center widget, something like this. Now I'm going to just pass the spacing by using size box. Let's pass 20.0. Now once we do this, now here I need to just write a container. Let's write a child row children, then image.asset, images folder name, and then I need to just pass Google 3.png, which is our another image I need to show. So it's too big, so I need to maintain the height and width. Let's pass up to 40. Let's pass the width 40, and we'll just pass a fit box fit dot cover, something like this. Now this is the image that you can see. Now here I need to pass the another text widget. In the text widget I need to just write like sign in with Google. Okay, sign in with Google. Let's pass the styling and app widget class dot headline text style 18.0, and we are going to just maintain the color, which is like colors dot black again, right? So this is the thing. I'm going to increase the font size to 20. Okay, now I just need to pass the size box. We'll just need to pass the width up to 10.0, something like this, or let's pass up to 20.0. Right now here I need to do one thing, like I need to just provide the border to this button that we have created. So for that I just need to write decoration, a box decoration. We just need to pass a border, and in the border I need to write border.all, something like this. So here you can see this. I need to pass a different shade of a black color. Maybe I can just pass colors.black, and we can just maintain the color code. Okay, something like this. Okay, so I need to do this, and then I need to just pass the width. Let's pass the width up to 1.5, and then I need to pass the border radius. I need to pass border radius dot circular. I'll just pass 60 so that it can pass a complete circular thing. Okay, now I just need to make this at the center. So you know that when you have used a row widget, you can just pass main axis alignment dot center, so that you can get at the complete center, but still we need to maintain the height. Let's pass up to 40.0. okay, that will be too less. Let's pass 60. okay, that's much better. And if you are thinking that to pass the margin, you can also do that. Margin as insert dot only. From the left let's pass 10.0, and from the right let's pass 10.0. okay, something like this. So this is what that you can see. Let's pass 20 and 20. I guess that will be better. Yeah, so sign in with Google. Now once we do this, now let's copy the size box. Let's paste this something over here, and this is the thing, like sign in with Google. And once we do this, now we are just ready to add the authentication on this page. Right now, to add a authentication for our sign up page, what I'm going to do is that first I'm going to show you that how you can connect the app with a Firebase, and then we are going to just add the email authentication and as well as a Google authentication in the app. I'm going to show you for both the device, which will be like for Android and iOS, right? Okay, so you can just move to the official website of Firebase, which is like firebase.google.com. You can just search that, and you can just enter your project name, right? So we just need to create one project inside the Firebase. So basically we are going to connect the Firebase as a backend for our Flutter app. So I need to just pass a project name. So I'm going to just write notes app. You can pass any project name, it's up to your choice. Now we click to this continue button, and we are going to click to the continue again. Click to the continue again. We can use a default account for Firebase. Click on create project. So as you can see that Firebase is preparing our project. So we need to just wait for a few seconds until it is completely been loaded, right? Yeah, it's done. It simply says that your project is ready. Now we'll click to this continue button, and we'll just land to the Firebase console. Okay. Now this is the Firebase console you can see over here. Now there are many things that the Firebase has. I'm not going to tell you about all the things right now, because that will be really difficult for you to understand. So I'm going to cover each things one by one in coming chapters and in these chapters as well, right? So here what I need to do is that you can see that this is a product categories that you can see, and it has been provided by a Firebase. So in this you can see a database and storage. There is a Firestore real-time database. Now I'm going to tell you about all the things, like a Firestore is something where we are going to store a data, and we are going to get the data by using a Firestore, right? Now here you can see a storage. So for example, if you want to store any assets in the server, I mean in the Firebase, then you can use a storage where you can store anything like an image, a video file, audio file, PDF file, anything, right? So here this is the storage. Now what I'm going to do is that first I'm going to click to this add app button, and let's first connect the app with a Firebase. So first I'm going to do for an Apple, and here we need a Apple bundle ID. Now this is the unique bundle ID that we usually provide to the each project so that the server can get to know to which app that they need to connect, right? So this is a unique bundle ID that we usually give to the each projects, right? So what I need to do is that I need to pass some unique bundle ID. I can't use any old bundle ID over here, otherwise it will simply show that the bundle ID is already registered, right? So as I've told you that you need to use something unique bundle ID to keep your app connected with this Firebase project, right? So I need to move to the app, and here I need to just move to the iOS folder, and we can just open an Xcode. So in the Xcode, we are going to manage all the features related to our app. So here we'll just move to the runner, and here I need to move to the signing and capabilities, and once you move to the signing and capabilities, you can see that there is a bundle identifier. Yeah, so this is the bundle identifier that has been given by a Xcode. You can simply change this, it's up to your choice. Now make sure that once you simply upload this app to the app store, you don't need to use like com.example.notes app. You can just pass your company name or any name, like you can just write notes as well. It's going to take this, but make sure that don't write com.example.notes app, or you can just pass your company name or anything in place of example, right? So once we create this bundle identifier, now we just need to copy this and we need to just paste this in the Apple bundle ID. Now we'll click to this register app button and we'll just wait. Okay, so here you can see that we have successfully registered this bundle ID. Now here we got one file which is like a Google service-info.plist file. Now simply download this file from here and make sure that its name should be exactly what has been shown over there, right? So I mean that the name of this file should be like Google service-info.plist file. If you have any older file with the same name, you can just remove that and then you can use this file. So I have the old file, so I'm going to just remove this old file from here, and we need to just rename this file. So I'm going to just rename the file, and here it is. Now I am ready to use this file. Okay, now I need to just paste this below the info in the runner section, and once it is done, I'm going to close this, click on finish. Okay, now we'll just need to do next, 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 and continue to the console. So here you can see that we have just connected the iOS app. It just take I think so 15 to 20 seconds to do that, and we can just close the Xcode now. Okay, so we have just connected the iOS app. Now let's move for the Android. Now for the Android, again it's going to ask me an Android package name. This is also an unique ID, just like an Apple. So we need to get this ID. So we need to move to the Android folder, app, buildgradle.kts, and again I need to copy this respective application ID from here, and we need to paste this something over here. Now click on register app. Okay, it's done. Now we need to download this google-services.json file from here, and again we need to remove the old file. If we have, we can just remove that old file, and we need to rename this with an exact name that has been shown over there. No spacing or nothing, it should be an exact file name, right? Now we need to paste this in Android app folder. Okay, here it is, right? Now once we do this, now click on next. Now here we need to add some plugins. So let's copy this plugin from here, and we need to directly move to the setting.gradle.kts and directly paste this in a plugin section, right? Now this is the first thing. Now the second thing is we need to add this plugin which is like a Google GMS Google Services plugin. So I need to copy this, and here we need to move to the Android app buildgradle.kts, and here in the plugin section just paste this something over here. Okay, now click on next, continue to the console. So here you can see that we have just connected the Android app and an iOS app. Now you will see that Shivam, does we have successfully connected our app with a Firebase. We have connected the app with a Firebase, but this is just a 50% of the work has been done, because we need to add some of the packages. Now what these packages are? So packages are something that has been pre-built code that has been written by another developer that we can just use directly in our app. So that saves our lots of time. We don't need to like write a lot of code. There is something inbuilt package that has been provided by a Flutter so that we can use them in the perspec.ml file and can connect the app successfully with a Firebase, right? So to get that, we need to move to the Google and we can just search pub dev. Okay, so once you do this, you will land something over here and you will just see an official website of pub.dev, and this is supported by the Google, as you can see over here, and it has some important packages. As I've told you, the package is something where the pre-written code has been written by some other developer and we can just use that directly, right? So one thing I need this, which is like a Firebase core package. You can just search this package. Now this is the package which is like in Firebase core, just to use a core functionality of an Firebase in our app, right? So this is the important package. Now let's copy this package directly from here, and you need to move to the perspec.ml file, and in the perspec.ml file you will see a section which is like in dependencies. Now we need to paste all the packages in our dependencies section, something like this. So you just need to copy that from there and you need to paste this something over here. Now if you are facing any version error or something, you can just remove this version error and you can just save this file. So that's going to work. But if you want to show the version, you can also do that, right? Now I'm going to just save this file by using command plus S, and you can use control plus S if you are using a Windows laptop, right? Now we are going to just save this, and this package has been simply run in our Flutter app, right? So let's first save all the file, okay? And once we do this, now here we'll move to the main.dart file, and here I need to just write async widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialized, right? I need to write await Firebase, and you can see that now it's going to use a Firebase core package. So now I can use a Firebase core package and we can pass Firebase dot initialize app. So these two commands will just activate the Firebase in our Flutter app, and please do not forget to add these two lines, otherwise you will get a problem. Now our app is successfully connected with an Firebase. Now we can just upload or handle the server in our way, right? Now this is the part, it is done. Now we'll just move and we need to add the authentication in our app, right? So I'm going to first tell you that how we are going to use our email authentication, right? So here I just need to move to the security, and in the security you will see the authentication. So this is the thing. Now we'll just move to the authentication, click on get started button, and we'll just wait, and you can see that it has a lot many authentications that we can use in our app, like email, password, phone, Google authentication that we are going to use, Facebook, GitHub, Yahoo, Apple, Twitter, Microsoft. So there are a lot many authentication that we can use. So I'm going to use email and password, and we are going to just enable this. Now click on save, and our email and password has been successfully been enabled. Now you will say that Shivam, can we now directly use authentication? No, again we need to add the package because we need some code in our app, as so we need some inbuilt code or a pre-built code in our Flutter so that we can just handle the email authentication. So for that I'm going to just move over here and we can just search like Firebase Auth. Okay, so this is another package just to handle the authentication in our app. So we'll move to the installing. Let's copy this package and we need to just paste this again in the perspec.ml file, and just below this you can paste this. Now make sure that once you add a package, please do not move back to the file. You just need to run this file. You need to just save this file. So you can just use command plus S as I've told you, or control plus S, and once you do this, this package has been successfully been run in our Flutter app, right? Now we are ready to use a email authentication in our app. I'm going to just pass a text editing controller. Okay, so I'm going to just write a text editing controller, and we just need to pass a name controller is equals to new text editing controller, something like this. Okay, so this is the thing that we can pass. Now you will say that Shivam, why we have passed this? So once the user write their name over here, so for example if I'll type my name is like Shivam Gupta over here, and I need to get the text from here. Okay, so I need to get this text from the name text field. So just to read the text from the respective text field, we need a text editing controller so that we can control the text that the user is trying to enter on that respective text field. I hope it's very clear, right? Now this is the first one. Now we need three because there are three text fields. So I'm going to just paste this over here. So I'm going to just do like this, and we just need to write email controller and the third one which is like in password controller. I hope it's clear, right? So name controller, email controller, and the password controller, right? Now once we write this three text field, now what I need to do is that we need to pass that to the respective text field. Now to control that, I need to just pass a controller. Okay, now we need to pass a name controller. Okay, again controller, which is like in email controller, and the third one which is for the password controller. I think so it's very easy to understand all these things, right? Now you can see that we can just now control the text that has been going to enter by the user, right? Now when the user enter the text, I need to basically create a three strings. Now basically this three strings would be like, I'm going to store the name and email and the password individually to the each of the string. Now here I need to just create a registration function so that we can call a registration function once the user fill all the text field and they click to this create account button. Now I'm going to just create a registration function. So I'll write registration something like this, and we just need to pass this, and we need to pass an async. Now you will say that Shivam, you are using async and await again and again. You haven't told me about anything this before. So what is async and await? So basically, once you simply pass async and await, you tell the function to wait until he moves to the next line. I think so getting what I'm trying to explain. I'll show you what I'm trying to explain. So I'll just first write a try and catch. Basically we are going to pass a try and catch function. Now try and catch function is something that we are going to first try with some specific function, like we are going to allow the user to first authenticate with some function, and if there will be any errors, I'm going to catch that error. So basically the try and catch is something like we are going to try something, and if it is not working, then we are going to catch that error. I think so it's very clear, right? I need to pass user credential, and we need to write user credential is equals to, and now here I'm going to just write await. Now I'll just write Firebase auth dot instance dot, and we need to simply call the function which is like in create user with email and password, right? Now we can just pass the email and password. So for that I need to get the text that the user going to enter in this respective text field. So I need to just write email controller. Now to get the text I need to write dot text. Okay, I think so it's clear. Now we need to do same thing for password controller dot text. Okay, it's clear, right? Now why we have wrote async await, now I will tell you. So I just wrote async and await, and I will just tell the function to wait until this complete function is being called. So basically if you will just remove a, it simply says wait. Okay, so we are going to wait until this complete function has been called. So that's a basic use of an await. Now if you don't pass async and await, it's going to simply not wait for this function to be called, and it will just move further, right? So that will just not be a special case. So we need to tell that to wait until this function is being called, and once it is called, then we can move further. I think so it's much clear, right? Now once that function has been called successfully, then we are going to just navigate the user to our home page. Okay, so let's create a home page for now. So I'm going to create a new file name home.dart, and then I need to import the package by using material.dart, and we need to write a stateful widget or a page name which will be like in home, something like this, right? Now once the user has successfully authenticate or create an account with the email and password, we are going to navigate them. So for that I just need to write navigator.push. There are lot many things you can pass once you navigate the user. You can just pass .push replacement .pop .push. Now push with something like once you push the user from sign up page to the home page, then they can successfully move back, right, by tapping to that back button. Now if you don't want that the user like simply authenticate from sign up page to the home page, and you don't want that the user to move back to the sign up page again, because you notice in the apps, like once you authenticate through the Google and you try to move back, the app simply closes. So that's a thing we need to use. We need to use a push replacement, that I don't want that the user to move back to the sign up page once they sign up in the app, right? So here it simply says that please pass your new route. So for the new route, I'm going to just write material page route. So I'm going to just write context. So I have explained about a context, like I need to move from this page to the another page, so I need to just pass context, and we need to move to the home page. So it's very clear, right? It's very easy to understand. Now this is how I'm going to try this function, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to catch the errors, right? So I'm going to just check that if there is any errors. So I'm going to just pass Firebase auth exception, and we are going to catch the error. So I'm going to just pass catch, we'll just pass e, and this is the thing. Okay, now I'm going to just check that if e dot code is equals to, like I'm going to first check that the password entered by the user is weak. So we are going to check this first one, like weak password entered by the user is true, then we are going to show the toast message or a snack bar saying that password provided is too weak, just to indicate the user that they have entered the password which is too weak. So I'm going to just write a snack bar over here, and then I need to just pass a background color. So let's first write scaffold messenger dot of context dot show snack bar. Okay, now we need to show the snack bar over here. So I need to just write a snack bar, and then I need to show the content in our snack bar. I'm going to use a text widget. In the text widget, I'm going to just write password provided is too weak. Password provided is too weak. Okay, something like this. Okay, we can just pass the styling and app widget class dot, and we can just pass, I guess, headline text style 18.0, and we can just pass colors dot white. Okay, colors dot white. So this is how you can just create a snack bar. Okay, let's pass 18, I guess is enough, right? And we can make this color to red, just to indicate that this is an error. So not over here, inside the snack bar. Let's pass background color, which will be like colors dot red, just to indicate that this is the first error that the user is facing, right? Now for example, if the password is okay, then we are going to check that the another case, like for example, if the user trying to enter the email that is already been used. So I just need to check that if e.code is equals to email already in use. Okay, so this is the thing, like I'm going to check that if the email entered by the user over here is already been used, I'm going to just copy the snack bar from here, and we need to just paste this something over here, and we need to show the another error which is like account already exists. Account already exists. Account already exists. Something like this. Okay, so this is how we can just maintain this. Now we need to copy the snack bar again, because once the user have been successfully registered, we are going to just show the text which is like in registered successfully. Registered. Okay, spelling is wrong, sorry for that. Registered successfully. Yeah, I guess now it's correct. This is not a error, so we just need to change to a green color. Okay, this is a green light that we are giving to the user that everything is okay, they can just move into the app, right? And this is a red light, we are showing the user a red light that there is something error that they are facing. Okay, with a text message that we are going to show, right? Now this is the registration function that we have created. Now let's call this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just, like, I need to pass some execution. As I've told you that once you need to pass any execution, you need to just wrap up that container with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method you can just pass like a registration function, something like this. Okay, it's done. So here is something that you need to handle the case, like if the user is trying to like not enter their name, they try to enter the email and the password and click to this button, right? So that will be the case, that will not going to work over here. So what I'm going to do is that we just need to check that if all the three text field is filled or not. So I'm going to check that if name controller.text is not equals to empty, okay, it is not empty, then we need to check for the email one as well, okay, is not equals to empty, and then and password controller.text is not equals to empty. If all the conditions are true, then only we are going to call our registration function, something like this, okay. Now if this any of the condition is not true, then we are going to show the else case, and in the else case I'm going to show the snack bar, that what a red light, right, just to indicate that they have forgot to enter the one text field. So I'm going to just pass like provide complete details, okay, provide complete details, okay. So this is how we can just pass the another text. Now let's check this, like how our registration function is working. Now we have just connected the app with the Firebase, we have just added all the packages and all. So now to run the package successfully, if you are trying to hot reload or hot restart the app, that's not going to work, because we need that package to successfully load in our Flutter app. So you need to relaunch the complete app completely. You need to stop the app from here if you are running in debug mode. So you just need to stop this, and then you need to relaunch the complete app from the starting, okay. So let me do that and we'll get back in few seconds, yeah. So I have relaunched the complete app successfully. Now I'm going to show you that how our authentication page is working. Now one thing I want to tell you, that if you are running the app for the first time in the iOS device, please move to the pod file and make sure that you pass an perfect iOS version. I'm using 15, you can use 15 and 16 as well, right? This is just for the someone who are running the app in their iOS device, I mean MacBook or something, right? So this is just not for the Windows or who want to run the app on the Android device, right? Now once we do this, now let's test this how our authentication page is working. So I'm going to just pass my name like Shivam Gupta, okay. Now I'm going to just pass random email shivam123@gmail.com, right? Now they are telling me to enter the password, so I'm going to enter the password. Now you will see the password is not in a dotted form. Just to make it more secure, we'll just move to the text field and we make this secure by auth secure text to true, okay. Now you can see that the password will be simply been highlighted in a dotted form, right? Now I'm going to click to this create account button and let's see what happens, right? Okay, so you can see that we have registered successfully and directly move to the home page. It is totally black because it is a container, so we can just pass a scaffold. I'm going to just hot restart this again, and I'm going to just pass another name like Ayush Gupta, ayush123@gmail.com. Then I'm going to pass a random password, click to this create account button. Okay, so you can see that this is how the snack bar has been seen, which is like registered successfully, and we have directly moved inside the home page of our app. So our email authentication is working perfectly that we are looking for, right? Now here we'll just move to the Firebase, and we move to the Firebase, and I'm going to show you that how all the users been seen once they sign up in the app. So we just need to move to the users section, and you can see that these are the two emails that I have just used to authenticate or sign up in the app. So you can see that it also shows the email that has been used at which date and his specific or a user ID, right? Now these are the thing that we have done, and we have created the sign up page of our app. Now we are going to create the login page. What I need to do is that I need to first create the UI for our login page. So I'll move to the pages folder, and we are going to create a new file name which will like login dot, and I'm going to import the package by using material dot, and we need to use a stateful widget or a page name which will be like just a login, right? Something like this. Now what I need to do is that login page will like a sign up page. We just need a two text field rather than a three text field. Okay, so what I need to do is that I will just change a create an account to the text which will like welcome back, and I'll just remove the name text field because we don't need that in our login page. We need that once the user create an account, right? So just to write the code again and again, I will do one thing. I'll just do a copy paste work. So I'm going to copy this complete scaffold widget, and we are going to just paste this directly over here. Okay, something like this. Now we just need to call our app widget class first, and we just need to change the text as I've told you to welcome back. I just need to pass welcome, and need to just pass welcome back, something like this, right? Now here I need to again pass a text editing controller so that we can handle the text. So I need to just pass a text editing controller, which will be like an email controller is equals to new text editing controller, something like this, right? Now this is the first text editing controller. Now we need for the second one, which is like in password controller. Okay, so these are the two text editing controller that we need. Now we just need to remove the name text field because we don't need that, as I've told you. So here I need to pass email and the password, and then I need to remove this as well. Okay, and we just need to check that if both the text field is filled or not, which is like in email and password, and if it is field, then only we are going to call the function, right? I'll write the function, don't worry about, so no worries about that. Now I just need to change the create an account text to a login, something like this. Okay, let's write login, and I'm going to switch to the login page so that I can show you basically what all code I'm writing in the login page, right? So let's call a login page, something like this. Now this is the welcome back text. As I've told you that there will be a two text field, which is like email and password, and the user can click to this button, which is like a login button, and can log in the app, right? Also they can just log in with Google as well. Okay, so I can just change this text to login with Google, right? So both the options are available for the users, right? Log in with Google. Yeah, so log in with Google, right? Now email and the password. We are going to now write a function for our login page, which will like an user login function, right? Now to write a user login function, I'm going to just write future, and we just need to pass like a void. In the void, I'm going to pass a user login, or you can just keep it user login as well if you don't want to write this. Now I just need to write user login, something like this, and then I need to just again pass async. I have told you the usage of async and await. Now I'm going to just pass a try and catch here as well. We'll just write await Firebase auth dot instance dot, and we just need to pass a function name, which is like an sign in with email and password, because we are going to allow the user to log in. So for that I'm going to just pass the email, something like this. Okay, sorry, yeah, email controller dot text, so that we can get the text from the email text field. Now we need to do same for the password, like password controller dot text, and once we pass this, now here what I need to do is that I need to just pass a catch function. So I need to write on Firebase auth exception. We just need to catch the error, so I'm going to just pass catch, and then I need to just pass a snack bar. Okay, so why to write a code again and again? Let's copy this scaffold messenger from here, I mean the snack bar code, and let's paste this directly over here. Okay, so we are going to just show the error that the user have entered the invalid email or a password. Okay, so I just need to pass like invalid email or password, something like this. Okay, so it's done, and we have just created a user login function. But once the user successfully log in the app, we are going to just need to push the user. So I'm going to use a push replacement, and we need to pass a new route, and in the new route I'm going to just write like material page route, and we just need to pass a context, and in the context I'm going to just push the user to which page, which will like a home page, something like this. So this is how we have just created a user login function. I think so it's very easy to understand, and we are just going to call our user login function, something like this. Okay, so I guess it's done. Now we are going to just hot restart the app, and we'll just see how it's working, right? And also we need to pass the text at the bottom so that they can easily switch to the sign up page and back to the login page, right? So here what I need to do is that I'm going to just pass the row children, and we need to just pass a text which will be like already, sorry, don't have an account, they can switch to the sign up page. So I just need to write don't have an account question mark. I just need to pass the styling and widget class dot medium text style. Let's pass 18.0. We are going to keep the color which will be like colors dot black, something like this. Okay, so you can see that this is the text. I think so we can just pass a different shade of black color, maybe not up to this. I think so that's much okay. I'm going to decrease the font size to 16, and then I need to pass the another text that will be the button, or you can say a text that the user can simply press and can switch to the sign up page. Okay, so I just need to pass like sign up, and we can just pass a styling and app widget class dot headline text style. Let's write 18.0. I guess that will be enough, and let's pass the color which will like colors dot black. Okay, something like this. I guess that's much enough, and we can just, as I've told you, that once the user click to this, they can move to the sign up page. So we need to add some actions. As I've told you that you need to just wrap this with a gesture detector when you need to pass any action, and we can just pass on the tab. I'm going to push the user, so navigator dot push, and we need to pass a route which will be like material page route. We just need to pass context, and in the context I need to just move to the sign up page, something like this. I think so that's much better. I need this at the center, so you know that you can just pass main axis alignment dot center, so that it will be at the complete center. Now I need this at the bottom. Now what I need to do is that I need to pass a maximum space between this button and the text. So I need to just pass a spacer. So as I've explained you about a spacer, that spacer will help us to pass a maximum space between two widgets. So we can just pass a maximum space between this button and the text. But you can see that it has been stuck to the lower side of that screen. I don't need this, so I need to pass some spacing from the bottom. So I just need to pass the size box. Let's pass 10.0. Okay, 10 will be too less. Let's pass 30. Okay, something like this. So now we'll click to this and can directly switch to the sign up page, right? Now what I need to do, as I click to this, I will just land to the sign up page. Now I need to move back to the login page, right? So I need to copy this directly, and we need to just paste this in our sign up page, something like this. Okay, I need to just paste this. Now here you can see that this is the text, but we need to just change the line like already have an account, they can just switch to the login page. So I just need to write login, something like this. Okay, so we are going to also navigate the user to a login page, something like this. I guess that's much correct, and they can switch to the login page and back to the sign up page. Right, now we have just added a login page and a user login function. Now let's see how our login page is working. So I need to first create an account through our sign up page. Then I'm going to show you that how our login page is working. So I'm going to pass my name like Shivam Gupta, okay, something over here, and we just need to pass the email Shivam. I'll just write Shivam900@gmail.com, and then I need to pass the password Shivam900, right? We'll click to this create account button, and we just need to wait, and we have just registered successfully and directly move to the home page, right? Now I'm going to use the same email and the password just to check that how our login page is working. I'm going to just write Shivam900@gmail.com, and we just need to write Shivam900. Okay, now we'll click to this login button, and we just need to wait, and let's see how our login page is working. Okay, so we have just moved to the home page of the app, and you can see that how our login page is also working successfully. So we have just added a complete email authentication to our app, and you have just learned how to add a complete email authentication to your app or on Flutter app, right? Now we are going to just learn how we can add a Google authentication to our app. And let's add a Google authentication to our app. So we need again a package just to enable all the inbuilt or pre-built code for the Google authentication. So we just need to move to the pub dev, and we just need to search like Google signing. Okay, so this is the package, and we just need to use this package. Move to the installing. Let's directly copy this package from here, move to the perspec.ml file, and just paste this something over here. Okay, so this is the thing that we need to do just to add a package. Now we need to also enable a Google authentication in our app, but before that let's write a code. We'll do all that things later, right? So now I'm going to just move to the service folder, and we are going to create a new file name which is like an auth dot dart. And once we write this, now let's create a class name which is like an auth methods. Okay, so in our auth methods class, we are going to just write a sign in with Google function, so that we can directly call our auth class method and can call our function. The same thing that we have done in our support widget, right? So I just need to call right auth methods, and then I need to just write final Firebase auth is equals to Firebase auth dot instance. So we are just handling a Firebase authentication, so that we need to add this line, and then I need to just write a static final Google signing. Okay, so we are adding a Google signing, so we just need to write Google sign in. Okay, and you can see that it's going to automatically going to catch that package that we have added, and we just need to pass Google signing is equals to Google signing dot instance. Okay, Google signing dot instance, right? Now once we pass this, now here we just need to pass a static back again, and we just need to pass a boolean character over here, and in the boolean character I just need to check that if the user have initialized their server client ID or not. So this is a unique server client ID that has been given by a Firebase side just to add or just to handle a Google authentication from exact Firebase account that you are using, right? So I'm going to check that whether the server client ID, basically a server ID, has been initialized or not, right? So I'm going to just check that. So I'm going to pass like is initialized is equals to false. Okay, and we just need to pass like static. In the static I'm going to just write future. In the future I need to just pass a void. Okay, now in the void I need to just pass like a function name. It's like an init sign in. Okay, so init sign in, and then I need to just write async, and then I need to check that if it is initialized or not. If it doesn't, then I'm going to do that, right? So I'm going to pass this. Okay, this means that if it is false, then only we are going to move, right? So I'm going to just pass this like await, and in the await I'm going to pass Google signing dot initialize, and in the initialize I'm going to pass a server client ID. I'm going to show you that how we are going to get this server client ID, so no worries about that. Then I need to just pass over here like is initialized to true. Okay, once it has been initialized successfully, right? So this is how we can just do this. Now we are going to write a sign in with Google function. Though sign in with Google function has lot many things in that function, so we don't need to remind all the code in our sign in with Google function. I'm going to provide you the complete code in this course, so don't need to worry that how I'm going to just write the complete code. So you can simply copy that code and paste this over here, because sign in with Google has a lots of code. You don't need to remind that code or don't need to understand that code. Once you like when you need a sign in with Google authentication, you can simply paste that code and can use that, right? So this is the thing. I'm going to give you some idea like what really that sign in with Google function it is and what we have added, but I'm not going to go in brief, right? So yeah, so this is the sign in with Google function that you can simply add, and this is all the code that we have written for sign in with Google. So this is how we are going to just initialize a Google with a Google signing dot initialize function, and then I need to just pass a Google signing dot authenticate, and we are going to check that if the user have cancelled the signing, then we can just show the some things in a snack bar that authentication has been cancelled or something, right? Now we are going to just pass a ID token, then we are going to pass the email and the profile. So for example, if the user will click to this login with Google button, they are going to see all the emails that they have already in their device. If they have multiple emails, that they are going to see a multiple emails. So they are going to select a specific email that they want to sign in with Google, and once they do that, we are going to just pass a ID token and access token, and we are going to check that if the user is not equals to null. It means that once the user try to authenticate with any id and it has been successfully authenticate with that email that they have choose, then we are going to check that if the user is not equals to null, it means that they have successfully authenticated in the app, then only we are going to push the user to the home page, right? If it is not, then we are going to check that what errors we are going to see. So we are again, I'm going to use a try and catch just to try with specific function, and then we are going to catch the error. So again, we have just passed a try catch method, and you can see that this is all that we have written for a sign in with Google. Now let's move to the Firebase, and in the Firebase, let's move to the authentication section. And in the signing method, as I've told you that we need to enable a Google authentication. You can use some support or default email, and we can just click on save. And it's going to take a few seconds. So you can see that the Google has been enabled. Now we are going to see that basically, as I've told you that once you simply enable a Google authentication, there will be some changes in the packages, right? So let me show you what all changes will be there in the packages. So I need here a server client ID, right? Now once I move to the Google service.json file that we have simply pasted from the Firebase, the Auth client is totally empty. Because we have just added this file before enabling a Google authentication. So once you enable a Google authentication in the Firebase, you are going to get a Auth client over here. So what I need to do is that we just need to move to the Firebase back again, and in the Firebase, what I need to do is that I am going to download this Google service.json file again. And once I download this file again and I have the old file, then I will remove the old file, and we are going to just rename this, and we are going to replace with the old file that we have saved, right? So we are going to just place this exactly at the same folder, and we are going to just replace this. And once we replace this, now here you can see that we have got a OAuth client, and in the OAuth client we have got a client ID, right? Now we need to just copy this client ID from here, and you know that where to paste this. We need to just paste this something over here. Okay, so this is how we can get a server client ID. So this was the important step. Like if you skip this process, then you can't see the server client ID. Now here, this is what that we have done for the Android side, right? Now for the iOS side, what I need to do is that here I need to directly open the Xcode. Okay, so let's launch the Xcode first. And once you launch an Xcode, once you move to the Google service info.plist file, you are going to see a reverse client ID over here. But again, you can't see this ID because we need to download this file again, which will be this file, and we need to paste this again, right? So let's download this file and let's paste this file. Okay, let's remove the old file, and we just need to rename this with the exact name. Okay, and we need to remove this file as well because this is also an old file. So I'm going to delete this, move to trash. Okay, now let's paste this new file below the info. Okay, click on finish. Okay, now here you can see that this is the reverse client ID I was talking about. So this is the client ID that we need to copy from here, move to the runner, click on info, move to the URL types, click on plus, and just add this in URL schemes. Okay, so once you do this, now the app is totally ready to run the Google authentication in the iOS device, right? Now one more thing I want to tell you that once you are running the app in our Android device, please make sure that you add a fingerprint, right? Now this is the unique fingerprint for the each device where you run this app, right? So we need to add a SHA1 code. Basically this is a certificate fingerprint, and you know that fingerprint is really unique for the each device. So you need to use a SHA1 fingerprint, and once you use this fingerprint, then you can handle the Google authentication in the Android device, right? So once we add all these things, now our app is totally ready to handle a Google authentication. So what I need to do is that let's move to the sign up page, and we are going to just wrap the button with a gesture detector because we need to pass some execution. And in the on tap method, I need to first call our class name, which is like an auth methods dot, and we need to, it will show me all the functions. So I need to call sign in with Google, something like this. Let hot restart the app. I think so hot restart will not work over here because we have just added a Google signing package. So make sure that when you add some package to your perspec.ml file, don't hot reload or hot restart the app, otherwise it's going to show you one error which is like a missing plugin error. Okay, you are going to see the error once the package successfully wouldn't be run in your Flutter app. So we need to close this app completely and rerun the complete app again. So we'll do that and we'll get back in few seconds. Yeah, I'm going to show you that how our Google authentication is working. So I'll move to the sign up page and I'm going to click to this button which is like sign in with Google. Right now, once I press to this button, so here it is, and we are going to click to this continue button, and we just need to sign up with one of our Google account. You already have the Google account in your device, then you don't need to, you just need to select the respective account. But you haven't signed in before with any of the Google account in this device, then you need to do that. So let me do that first. Now let me enter the password. I'm not going to show you the password. Okay, so let me do that first. Okay, it's done, and we are going to save the password for now, and then I need to just tap to yes. Okay, it's done. Click on continue button, back again, and now we just move to the home page. Okay, so as you can see that our Google authentication is working brilliantly, and we have just authenticated by the help of Google. Right now let's move to the Firebase and let's check what email ID I have just used to authenticate in the app. Right, so here I'll just move to the Firebase and we'll move to the authentication section, and here you can see that I have just authenticated by the help of this Google ID, and you can see that provider is Google and the date at which I have just authenticate by the help of Google. Right, so you can see that how beautifully our Google authentication is working. Now what I need to do is that I'm going to first create the UI for our home page, then I'm going to show you that a crude method of a Firebase. Right, and now I'm going to create a notes page UI. Okay, so here you can see that this is how I'm going to create our notes page UI. So you can just create by own, because I think so you got a lots of knowledge about how you can use a widgets and how you can just use a widgets to create an awesome design. Right, but I'm going to show you that what all things I'm going to do, but I'm not going to tell you on much detail because I've already done this before. So here we can see that we just need to first pass a background color to this screen. Right, so what I need to do is that first I need to pass a background color. So I need to just pass colors dot black. As I've told you that scaffold is a house structure, so just to provide a complete color to your house, I mean pass a complete color to this screen, you can just pass colors dot black, something like this. Okay, so once you do this, now what I need to do, so here we have just passed a background color black. Now let's move. Now here I need to just do one thing. Basically you can notice that there is an image at over here. You can see that there is an image, the text and the button. Okay, so we need to directly use our row widget to display all these things because all the things have been aligned horizontally. So I need to pass a row. Now you can't pass a row directly, you can just write body container, then I need to just write child, and then I need to pass a row, something like this, children. Then I need to use image.asset, images folder name, and then I need to pass an exact file name, like boy1.jpg. Okay, now let's pass the height. Let's pass the height up to 40. We'll just pass the width 40, and we'll use a fit box fit dot cover, something like this. Okay, now here you can see that this is the image. As I've just passed the container, so that we can just pass a margin as in set dot only. From the top let's pass 40.0, and from the left let's pass like 20.0. I'm going to increase the height, let's pass up to 60, and let's pass the width 60. Okay, now you can see that the image is completely in the circular form. As I've told you what you need to do, you need to just wrap up with a clip react widget. We need to pass border radius dot circular, we can just pass up to 60, something like this. Right, now let's show this text, hi Shivam. Okay, so I need to just pass the text widget. In the text widget I need to just pass the text like hi, and we need to just write Shivam. Then I need to pass a styling, an app widget class dot headline text style 18.0, and we are going to just pass color, which will be like colors dot white, something like this. Okay, so let's pass the white. Now once we do this, now let's pass the size box with, let's pass 20.0, that will be enough. Okay, I'm going to increase the font size to 20, maybe that's enough. So now let's move, and now I need to display this button, right? So I need to first write a container, okay, again, and then I need to just pass decoration, a box decoration color, and in the color I'm going to use a custom color code. As I've told you that when you are pasting a custom color code, just start with 0xff rather than using a hashtag, because just to read that respective color code you need to start with 0xff, right? Now once you do this, now let's move back and let me get the color code first. Okay, so this is the color code that we are going to use. Now I just need to pass a child, and then I need to just pass an icon. In the icon I need to just write icons dot add. Okay, now we just need to pass the color, which will be colors dot white. Now this is the icon that you can see. Now here I'm going to just pass padding as insert dot all up to 10. I guess 10 will be too much, let's pass up to 8, and directly we are going to increase the size. So I'm going to just write the size up to 30.0. right? Now I need to provide a complete circular structure, so I need to write border radius dot circular. We just need to pass up to 60. So here it is. Okay, now you can just pass the spacing if you want. I think so that's enough. And as I've told you that when you want to pass a maximum space between the two widgets, you can directly use a spacer rather than passing a fixed width, right? So this is the thing. Now I need to pass from the right position as well, I mean the spacing or the margin. So here it is. Now here it is done. Now as I've told you that we need to store all the widgets completely in the vertical direction, right? This is for the horizontal one, and once we do this, now I need to store all the widgets in the horizontal direction. So I need to wrap up the row with a column widget, something like this. And once you do this, now here you need to do one thing, like here I need to pass a text. In the text I need to just pass like my notes. Okay, my notes, something like this. Let's pass the styling and app widget class dot, let's pass headline text style. We'll directly use 20.0, and color which will be like colors dot white. Okay, that will be enough. No, that's not enough, I need to increase it to 30. And as I've told you that we need to align this to the left side, so we need to pass cross axis alignment dot start, something like this. Okay, I need to use the size box so that there will be enough spacing. Maybe we can use up to 30.0, I guess that will be enough. Okay, and okay, that's more than enough. I just need to pass up to 40. Let's see. Okay, now it's better. Now I'm going to create some of the containers just to display the headline of our nodes and then the text on that node with a delete icon. Okay, so what I need to do is that here I'm going to just directly write a container, and here I need to pass decoration, box decoration, color. Okay, again I'm going to use a custom color code, so I need to write color 0xff, then I need to paste the color code, right? So let's pass this, let's pass the child column, and then I need to pass children text widget. Then I need to pass the text, which will be like buy honey 100% original, right? So I need to write buy 100% or buy honey. Okay, sorry. So buy honey 100% original. Okay, now we just need to show this in a headline text because this is our headline of our notes. And then I need to use like 18.0, and we can directly pass color, which will like colors dot black. Okay, something like this. Now once we do this, now let's pass the text widget. Now just to show the text, I need to just write this, which is like a buy the new brand honey for my family. Okay, and then I need to just write buy the new brand honey for my family, right? I need to pass a styling again. Let's use an app widget class dot medium text style. Let's pass 18, I guess is enough. I think so. We need to lower down the text because headline is already on 18, and we can just pass colors dot black. Maybe we need to use a different shade of a black color, not maybe up to this. Okay, now you can see that all the text had been aligned to the left side. So again, we need to do the same thing, which is like in cross, and we can use a cross axis alignment dot start, something like this. Let's directly pass the size box. So let's copy the size box. Let's paste this over here, and then I need to just pass a 10. We'll just use a width. Again, I need to use media query dot of context dot size dot width, right? I need to pass padding edge insert dot all, maybe up to 10. Okay, that's enough. Okay, if you're thinking that text size is too much, you can just pass up to 16 and you can lower down this text to 14, right? So this is what that you can do. Now I need to show two things, basically a delete icon and a icon to edit. You can't see this icon like icon to edit, but we need also an option to edit the respective notes, because I am teaching you a crude method. So we need to handle all the things like create, read, update and delete. So we need to handle all these four things by using this app, right? So here I need to pass an edit so that we can just update the notes, right? So what I need to do is that here I need to just pass a row widget, and we need to just wrap up with a row widget, and we need to pass the icon. Okay, now in the icon I need to just write icons dot edit, something like this. Let's pass the color, which will like colors dot red, and then I need to just pass the icon, which will like icons dot delete. Okay, something like this. Then again I need to just pass the color, which will like colors dot red. Okay, so this is what that you can see. If you want, you can just pass the outline text as well. Okay, it's up to your choice. You can do here this as well. Okay, so this is what that you can see. If you want to increase the size, we can just pass 30, and let's pass the size, which will be like up to 30, something like this. Okay, so once we do this, now let's pass the spacer so that there will be a maximum spacing, and then I need to use the size box here as well so that there will be a maximum space. 10.0, that will be enough, right? Now once we have shown the edit and a delete button or an icon, then I need to just pass the border radius. So I'll just pass the border radius dot circular. You can directly pass up to 20, something like this. So this is how we can just show this. If you are thinking that the padding is too less, let's pass 20, or let's pass up to 10. Okay, or you can use dot only as well if you want some custom padding from left side, like up to 20. From the top you can just pass tab, from the right you can just pass 10, and from the bottom you can just pass like 20. Okay, something like this. So now it's look much better, I guess. You can just pass from right more up to 20, and maybe up to from top let's pass 20. Yeah, so I guess that's much better, and we can use some spacing over here, maybe size box. Let's pass the height up to 10.0. Okay, so this is the thing, and we have just passed the headline and the text, right? So I think so that's look much better. As I told you that if you want to pass a different shade of a black color, you can also do that. Maybe you can just bring to this, or let's do this. This is enough, right? So buy honey 100% original. Okay, buy the new brand honey for my family, right? So now I'm going to execute this crude method that I've told you. So first I'm going to just write a code or handle a function which is like and create of our crude method, right? So first I'm going to allow the user to click to this plus icon so that they can just add a notes. So for that I'm going to display a dialog box over here from where they can just enter two things, basically the headline of the notes and the text they want to pass on that respective notes, right? So I need to create a dialog box first. For the dialog box, what I need to do is that I need to create a function so that we can directly call that, right? So here I just need to move down over here inside the our stateful widget. I'm going to just pass this, right? So what I need to do is that here I'm going to just write the function name, which is like in void show add node dialog. Okay, so I need to just write dialog, something like this. And once we do this, now let's write build context, and we just need to write context, something like this. Okay, so once we do this, now here what I need to do is that I need to just pass a show dialog function, right? Now once we pass a show dialog function, it's going to simply show me the dialog box, and we can just maintain all the things directly in a show dialog function. So I need to first pass a context over here where I need to show this dialog box. Then I need to return and in the return I'm going to pass the alert dialog widget that we have, right? Once we have an alert dialog widget, now first we can just pass a background color, and here I need to just write color. We need to pass 0xff, then I need to pass 1e and 1e. So this is the code that I can pass over here. Now I need to pass a shape, and we are going to just keep the shape which will be like up to the rectangular border. I need a rounded rectangular border and with a border radius, and we need to pass border radius dot circular, which will be like up to 16. Okay, so once we do this, now this is how we have just passed these things. Now we need to show the title of our dialog box. So for that I need to just pass a text, and in the text I need to just pass a text which is like an add note. So this is just a, you can say a headline, or you can just see a title of our dialog box, and we can pass a styling, an app widget class dot headline text style. Let's pass 18.0, and we are going to just keep the color which will be like colors dot white. I think so I passed a background color which will be like black. Now I think so if I'll pass a background color, I can't see this over here. So let's do one thing. Let's change this with a color white, and let's see how it will look. So I'm going to just pass colors dot white, and we are going to just change the text color to black. Okay, so this is the thing. Now once we do this, now here I need to show the content in our dialog box. So I need to write content, then I need to pass column children, and I need to just keep the size of this dialog box minimum. I will show you that why I'm saying this, but before that let's pass a text field over here. So I need to just directly write a text field. So let's write a text field, and we need a two text field, which is for one for the headline and the notes that they want to write. Okay, so I need to first pass a styling. In the styling I'll just say text style, and we are going to just keep the color which will like colors dot black. Okay, or we are going to change this to gray. Okay, so let's see that how it will look first. So I'm going to just keep it colors dot black, and then I need to pass a decoration which will be like an input decoration, and then I need to pass the hint text that I need to display, and in the hint text I need to just pass like enter headline. Okay, enter headline, and then I need to pass a hint style. Okay, then I need to use a text style, a color, and we can just pass like colors dot gray dot shade, and we just need a shade up to 400, right? So this is how we can just pass a shade. We'll just keep the field to true. Okay, and then I need to pass a fill color which will be like colors dot black. Okay, something like this. Then I need to just pass the border color, and maybe I can just pass the border color which will like border outline input border, and we can just pass the border radius which will like border radius dot circular, and we can just pass up to 10. Then I need to pass the border side which is like border side. I don't need border side, so border side dot none. Okay, so this is how I've just wrote a text field. Now I'm going to show you that how a dialog box is looking. Then I'm going to write a further code in our dialog box, right? So I'm going to wrap up this container with a gesture detector, and in the onTap method I'm going to just pass the function name which is like, what is a function name, like show add node, right? So show add node dialog, and we just need to pass context. Now I'll click to this. Okay, so here you can see that this is how the dialog box will look alike, and I think so what I can do is that rather than passing colors dot black, I can just may use colors dot gray and different shade of a gray color, maybe up to this. I guess that's much perfect. Now I'll click to this. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, I made a mistake. I just need to paste this something over here. Yeah, it's done. Now I'll click to this, and here you can see how it looks, and we are going to change this text style to this colors dot black. Okay, I guess that's much perfect. And now we click to this. Okay, I can't see this text clearly, so let's pass the hint style, not too gray, maybe let's use black. Okay, so this is what that you can see. Enter headline, we have just passed this text field. Now we need another text field, so let's copy this directly, let's paste this over here. And the another text field is all about where the user will going to enter their nodes. So I'm going to just write enter node. Okay, and we just need to dot dot dot. Okay, so here we can just pass this, and let's pass the spacing because all the things have been stuck together. So let's pass 20.0, something like this. Yeah, now you can see that once they write a node, the chances will be that it won't be in the single line, right? So I need to just pass the max lines, and I'll just tell that maximum line that they can just enter in their node will be up to like 4. So I need to just write maximum lines will be like up to 4, and you can see that the text field size will be just increased. Right now, once we do this, now here what I need to do, once we show this text field for the node and the headline, we need to create a button. But you can see that there are a lot many space still have been left, so that's the usage of main axis mean that I've told you. So I just tell that to use a minimum space, don't use a maximum space. So here it is, and it's going to just use only that much space that we need, right? So this is the thing. Now here I need to just write an elevated button, and in the onPress method I'm going to pass the function. Okay, but before that let's pass a text, and in the text I'm going to just write a save. Okay, something like this. So now I'll click to this again, and here you can see that this is the save button that we have shown, right? And here I can just, if you want to just change this background color of this elevated button, you can do that as well. You can just use elevated button dot style from, and in the style from you can see that there are a lot many styling that you can just pass to this elevated button, and that's why we can just pass a background color. Let's write a background color which will like colors dot blue. Okay, if you want to create a custom button also by using a container, you can do that. It's up to your choice, right? So this is the thing. Now I'm going to also just change the text style so that all the things might look good. So I'm going to just pass app budget dot headline text style. Let's pass 18.0, and we are going to just change the color of this text to white, something like this. Okay, so here it is. Okay, now let's pass the spacing first. So I'm going to just use a size box. Let's write 20.0. Okay, so I guess here it is, right? So this is how we can just create a complete dialog box, and I have shown you that it is very easy to create a dialog box using an alert dialog widget. Right now, once we do this, now let's use our create method to create a node in this app. Right, so now I'm going to use the Firestore. As I've told you many times, the usage of an Firestore, basically I'm going to now store some data. I need to store the nodes in the server. Okay, so here comes the usage of an Firestore to store a data in the Firebase, and we can use them in the app. Okay, so it's simply opening. So this is the Firestore, you can see, and once it has been launched, we can just create a database. Right now, what is a database? So once you need to simply store some data, you need a database. Okay, that has been provided by a Firebase in the form of Firestore. Right, so now I'm going to just click on next, and you can just pass the location or keep the location up to this. Now click on next and click on create button. I'm just starting in the production mode, not in a test mode. Okay, so this is the thing, and I will click to this, and it's going to just set up some security rules for our cloud Firestore. And once we do this, we are ready to upload our data to the cloud Firestore. Right, so here it's done, and I think so now we have just landed to this database, and here we just need to move to the rules section. And in the rules section, please do not forget to change the rules from false to true. Okay, otherwise it will create a problem for you to upload a data to the cloud Firestore. Right now, once we do this, Now it's done. Please do not need to worry about this condition. Your security rules are defined as public, as anyone can steal or modify, delete your data in a database. No one will going to steal your data or something. It's like Firebase is giving some alert before doing this, but no one going to steal your data because we have just added all the authentication and all, right? So we'll just move to the data back again, and here you can see the complete setup from where we are going to manage all the data that will be uploaded to the server, right? So I'm going to tell you about each and everything right now, like how you can just upload a first data to the cloud Firestore, right? Now for that I'm going to do one thing. Basically we need to handle or we need to use a two text editing controller. As I've told you that there are two text fields, so I need to just write a text editing controller. First one is for the headline controller. I need to just write headline controller is equals to new text editing controller. Okay, so this is just for the first one. Now we need for the second one, which is for the nodes. I need to just write nodes controller. Now we need to pass the controller to the each text field. So I need to pass controller. This is for the headline one, so I need to just write headline, and this is for the controller, and which is for the nodes one. So I need to write a nodes controller, right? Now once we do this, now we are ready to upload a data. So I'm going to just write if method, and we are going to check that if both the text field is filled or not. If it is filled, then only we are going to allow the user to upload a data to the cloud Firestore. I hope it's read. You are getting what I'm trying to explain. So I'm going to just write dot text. It should not be empty, and one more text field should not be empty, which is our nodes controller dot text should not be empty. If this both the condition is true, we have just passed and method. I think so you're getting why I have passed like and. So and will just check that if both the conditions are true or not. There are some more conditions like or. If any of the one condition is true, then we are going to just move inside the if case. So this is how you can just pass or, basically this condition or this condition. So if any of the one condition will be true, then we can execute this if case. But here I need an and case because I need this both text field to be filled. So both the conditions are true, then only we are going to just move inside the if case. That's a big difference between and the or, and how you can use that, right? Now once we do this, now here I'm going to write a function that will help us to upload our data to the cloud Firestore. So here I'll move to the service folder, and again I'm going to create a new class which will be like a database.dart file. So let's first create a dart file, and then I need to just create a class name like a database methods, and I'm going to just write all the functions in our database methods class so that we can use that functions accordingly. We don't need to write all the codes in the single page. Okay, so I need to just pass a future, and in the future first let's pass the function name, which is like add nodes. Okay, so I'm keeping just a function name, really simple. Now what I need to do is that first I need to pass a map. So I'll just pass a map with a combination of string and a dynamic, and we just need to pass like nodes data, which is a map name, right? I'm going to explain about a map now. So once we upload a data to the cloud Firestore, I'm going to explain about really the map is. Okay, so I'm going to just pass a string id, right? Okay, this is the id, and then I need to just write async, and then we need to write await, and we need to return this. So we'll just need to write return await Firebase Firestore. Okay, we are using Firebase, so we need to pass Firebase Firestore. Now one more thing, there is some inbuilt or pre-built code we need to handle a cloud Firestore. Okay, so to get a pre-built code, we need to move to the pub dev, right? So let's move to the pub dev first, and once we move to the pub dev, we need to handle a cloud Firestore. So we need a cloud Firestore package. Okay, so this is the package, and we'll move to the installing. Let's copy this package from here, and let's directly paste this in the perspecml file, something like this. Now simply run this file. Now we are ready to use the cloud Firestore, right? Now here I'm going to just write Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection. Okay, now what is a collection? What is a document? What are the fields? These are the very important things in the Firestore. Okay, so I'm going to just pass a collection name which will like nodes, and inside the nodes collection I'm going to pass a unique ID to the nodes, and then I need to pass dot collection and a map name which is like a nodes data. We just need to write dot set method, right? And now I need to just pass a map name. This is like a nodes data. Now if you are seeing this for the first time, then you will say that I can't really get that what Shivam is writing over here. I know that it's really hard for you to understand, but I'm going to make these things really easy. I'm just writing the code right now. I'm going to tell you about each things, like what is collection, what is a doc, why we have used a set method and all. Just keep some patience, right? So once we do this, now here we'll just move back to the home page, and in the home page now we are going to upload a data. So I'm going to just create a map. Now let me explain you what is a map. So map is a combination of key and a value pair. Now the key that we want to pass is in the form of string, so I'm directly writing a string. Now as I've told you that something that has been indicated in the double inverted comma, it's going to act as a string, and something there will be a case that you can see the string has been passed in a single inverted comma. It is also a string, so don't think that it's not a string. So you can say the text that has been passed in a single inverted comma, double inverted comma, and that going to act as a string, right? Now here I need to just pass a value pair. So I need to just, as I've told you that the map is a combination of key and value pair. The key will be in the form of string, and the value that we can pass in the form of dynamic. Now let me explain you about a dynamic. In the dynamic you can pass anything like a string, integer, boolean character, a number, a double. So dynamic can be, you can use a dynamic if you want to pass anything, right? I need to just write an add nodes. Okay, so this is just a function name, right? Now not a function name, basically a map name, so I just need to write nodes. Okay, I'm keeping the map name really simple right now, and then I need to do one thing, like inside the map I need to create a combination. So basically I'm going to first get a headline, so I'm writing a headline. I need to write it in double inverted comma because this is a key and we have passed a string. Now in the dynamic I can just get a text, so I need to just write headline controller.text. Then I need to just pass a nodes, so I just need to write a nodes, and in the nodes I'm going to just write nodes controller.text. So this is the thing. Now as I pass the ID, so we can just pass a unique ID to the each nodes that we are uploading. So just to create a unique ID, I need to create a unique ID. So for that I'm going to use the another package from our pubdev, which is like a random string. Okay, so here I'll just move, and we are going to just search for the package which is like a random string, so that we can provide the unique ID to that respective nodes. So I'll move to the installing. Let's copy this respective package from here. Let's directly paste this in the perspec.ml file, something like this. Okay, so once we do this, now let's move back to the home page, and in the home page I'm going to just create a ID, string ID. Now you will see that Shivam, why we are creating the ID? So that's a very good question. I am going to explain you this. So we are going to just write random alphanumeric, and we are going to create a unique 10 ID up to 10, and then I need to just pass the ID over here, and we'll just need to pass the ID. Okay, now once we do this, this is how we have just created a map. Now we need to upload our data. So to upload our data, I'm going to first write async, and I'll just tell to wait until this function is completely called. I need to pass database dot methods, which is our class name, dot, and we need to call add nodes, our map, our function name, right? And we need to just pass a map name, which is like a nodes, and this is how we can just pass an ID. So this is how we are going to upload our data to the cloud Firestore. Okay, so let's test this. So I'm going to simply hot restart the app, and I'll click to this, and we are going to just pass the headline. So for example, I'll just pass like Flutter course. Okay, so let's write Flutter course, and today we will cover crude method, right? Okay, so this is what that we have done. Now I'll click to this save button. Okay, I just click to the save, and we just need to wait, and once we upload our data, we'll just move to here, and we just need to refresh this page, and we'll just check that if any data has been uploaded to the cloud Firestore or not. Okay, and we are just waiting for that. Okay, so we are facing one thing, so the data hasn't been shown over here. We have just added now a package which is like a cloud firestore and a random string. As I've told you that once you add any new package to the perspecml file, please do not hot restart or hot reload the app. As I've told you that, so I've shown you that if you hot reload or hot restart, the data won't be uploaded to the cloud firestore. So this was the error that I need to show you, because I know that many of you will just make this mistake and you will say that Shivam, we can't get our data to the cloud firestore. So that's a small mistake that you can do. So let me close this app completely and rerun the app complete from the starting, right? How we can successfully can upload a data to a Firebase Firestore, right? Now we click to this add button and just I'm going to write the headline like I will teach a new course. The course will be on Flutter. Okay, so I'm going to upload this. I will click to this save button and let's see how it's going to happen. So now we'll just move to the Firebase. We'll just move to the Firestore and let's see if we get a data over here or not, right? So it's loading. Yeah, so here you can see that our data has been simply been uploaded to the cloud firestore, and you can see that it has simply created a collection notes, a document ID, and the headline that I have added like I will teach a new course, and notes that we have added like the course will be on Flutter, right? So now let me explain you that what really the collection is, what is a document, and what are all the fields, because these are the much more important things in the cloud firestore. So you need to know about all the things just to handle all the data in the firestore. Right now what we have done is that we'll move to the database.dat file, and here you can see that I've told that Firebase Firestore to create a collection which will be like a notes collection. Now this is a notes collection, and in this notes collection we are going to add all the documents in the respective collection. Okay, so this is the collection, and in this collection there will be all the documents. Right now here I have just wrote a collection name which is like notes, and then we have passed a doc ID. In this doc ID I have told that to pass a specific document ID, so that's why we have passed a string ID. You know that I have used a random alphanumeric 10 just to create a unique ID, and once we pass that we get the unique ID, or we pass the unique ID to this specific node. Okay, so this is a collection, all the collection will be displayed over here. This is a document. Now if you don't pass a specific document ID, the Firestore will give a document ID from their side, right? So this is how you can just pass a notes. So this is how you can just store all the collections over here. You can store all the documents, and all the fields will be displayed over here. Right now these are the fields, like this field is specifically being given to this document. Right now this is how we can just pass a set method, and there is a two thing, like if you don't pass a document ID you need to pass dot add method, and if you are passing a document ID you need to set the fields, so you need to use a set method. So that's a two thing, right? If you are getting confused right now, so don't need to worry. In our coming chapters we are going to use some more set and add methods so that you can get more clarity like how to use them. Right now once we do this, and this is how we got our data in the Firestore, and now I can simply get our data in our app as well. Right now we'll just move to the home page, and in the home page I want that once this data has been like added, we just need to close this dialog box. Okay, so I'm going to just pass like navigator dot pop context, so that it can simply pop out from this dialog box and we can directly move back to the home page. Right now one more thing I need to do is that in the set state I need to make this to text field empty, so that once the user want to add a second node they can successfully do that. Right, so to do that I just need to pass headline controller.text and we need to make it empty. This is how we need to do. We need to write nodes controller.text and we just need to make it empty. So we will do this thing. Right now this is how we can just make this to text field empty, so that the user can enter the second nodes. Right now once we do this, now this is how we can just use a create method. Right, so this is how we can just use a create method. So I'm going to just write over here that this is a create method. Now I'm going to use a second thing which is like in read. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is that first I'm going to create a function. So first I need to again write a future, right? Now in the future what I need to use, it is a stream. Okay, now let me give you a idea. Like what we are going to do is that we are going to get all the documents from our nodes collection over here, okay, by using a stream builder. I'm saying that again, like I'm going to call a nodes collection, and in the nodes collection I'm going to get all the documents from our nodes collection by using a stream builder. Okay, now what is a stream builder? So for example, if I want to simply update a specific document, for example, if I want to change the headline of this specific notes, I can simply do that by using a update method, but that should be highlighted in my app in just a few seconds, right? Now that's a better use of an stream builder. So stream builder will help us to update a specific field in just a seconds, so that it will be better for us to get that data highlighted in our app, right? So I will just tell you that once you want to display all the documents or all the data from a respective collection, use a stream builder method, right? So I'm going to just write a stream over here, and then I need to write a query snapshot, right? Now I'm going to explain all these things. So we'll just write get nodes. So this is our function name, and then I need to just write async, and we need to return, and we need to wait. Okay, what we need to wait for? We need to wait for like Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection. Now here we have just passed a collection name. So what collection we need to call, which is like a nodes collection. So let's paste this nodes collection over here, and we need to use dot snapshot. Now snapshot will help us to read all the documents that this respective collection has, right? Now that's a use of a snapshot, right? So now this is the thing we have done. Now here I'll move back to the home page, and in the home page I'm going to create a function, and which is like a widget, and we need to write all nodes. So this is just a function name, right? Now once we do this, now we just need to return, and in the return I'm going to call our stream builder, as I've told you. So it's going to, we need to pass a stream method over here. So I need to just write a stream. Okay, now in the stream we can just keep a stream name, which is like a nodes stream, okay, something like this. Now once we do this, let's pass a null check, and then I need to call our function name. So I need to write get on the load. So as soon as this page loads, I mean that as soon as the user lands to this home page, I want that nodes to be displayed from our nodes collection, right? Now to do that, I need to simply call all the data from our nodes collection and directly store them in our stream. Okay, so I need to just write a node stream is equals to await. So let's first write async await, and then I need to just write our function name that we have wrote. So that database methods class dot, and we need to get a nodes. This is the thing, and we can use a set state. Okay, and now in the init state, I have told you the usage of an init state. So I need to write get on the load, something like this. Now once we do this, now simply call our nodes stream, then we need to call our builder. Okay, now in the builder I need to call from this page. So I need to write context, then async snapshot. As I've told you that snapshot will help us to read all the documents, so I need a snapshot as well. So I need to write a snapshot, something like this. And once we do this, now here I need to return the again, and what I need to return is that I need to first check that if the collection is empty or not. So if the data is there in the respective collection, we are going to show that by using a list view. Okay, I've told you about a list view. Okay, so I need to just check that if snapshot dot has data. So we are going to check that if the respective collection has any documents available or not. If it is there, then we are going to just show them by using a list view dot builder. It is very easy to understand, it's not very complex. Okay, so now what I need to do is that I need to just pass an item count, and as I told you, we need a snapshot. So in snapshot dot data dot docs dot length. Okay, now this is the thing. Now in the item builder, I need to just write context, and we need to read each document one by one, so that's why I need to pass an index. Now if there is a data available, we are going to show them by using a list view, and if the data is not available, we are going to just display the container. Okay, so this is the command that we need to pass. Okay, now once we do this, now here inside this I need to write like document snapshot ds is equals to snapshot dot data dot docs, and we need to read each index, not each index, we need to read each document one by one, and we need to get the field from that respective document, right? So I need to write docs and we need to pass an index, something like this. I think so, it's very easy, and we just need to return, right? Now in the return I'm going to pass this thing that we have created just for the UI. I'm going to cut this directly from here, and we need to just paste this over here. Okay, I think so, it's much clear. And once we do this, now I need to pass a scroll direction, but you don't need to, because the scroll direction has been automatically been fixed in a vertical direction that we need, so we don't need that, right? So now what I need to do is that I need to read these fields like headline field, id, and a notes field for the all the documents that we have over here, right? Now to do that I need to just do one thing. I need to write ds that going to read our document field, and what field name that I need to read. So this is the field name that I need to read, which is like a headline. Okay, then I need to write ds back again, and what field I need to read, which is like a notes field. So let's copy this, let's paste this over here. Okay, now once we do this, now let's call our all nodes list view. Okay, now let's simply hot restart the app. Okay, now we are going to simply see the error. Now I've told you that why we are going to face this error. If you are using the list view, I've told that make sure that you need to wrap up this with an expanded widget, so that you can tell the list view that how much space he should use. So here you can see that this is how we got a document from our Firestore, and it has simply read our headline, which is like I will teach a new course, which you can see over here, and the notes, the course will be on Flutter. So you can see that we have successfully read a document from our Firestore by using a stream builder. Now as I've told you that there is some space over here, and as I've told you that there is some space automatically been given by a list view side, so I need to remove this. So I need to write padding edge inset dot only, and we'll change the only to 0. Okay, I don't need any padding from a list view side. So here it is, and we can simply see this over here. Okay, now let's add one more thing. Now let's add a second node. So I'll just write I will play cricket. I need to do this at 4 p.m. right? p.m. Okay, now I'll click to this, and you can see that it just take a few seconds to add this field and update this over here. Now you can see that this things has been stuck together, so I need to pass the margin edge insert dot only from the bottom 10.0, or let's pass like 20.0. So this is how you can add as much nodes on the app, and it will be simply been shown in our app in just a few seconds, not a few seconds, I think so it's milliseconds. So that's a good use of an stream builder that I've taught to you, right? So this was our second thing, which is like an read method. Now we are going to just head to our third thing, which is like an update. Okay, so now what I need to do is that when I click to this, I'm going to open the dialog box again, and once we open the dialog box, we are going to allow the user to update the headline and the notes that they want, right? So what I need to do is that here I'm going to directly copy this function and will just paste this over here. Okay, let's write that again. So let's write an update function. Okay, update, something like this. Yeah, now let's write future. In the future I'm going to just write update notes. Okay, update notes. This is our field name. Now we need to move to the specific document ID just to update the headline and the notes. Otherwise we can't update that field, right? So I need to get the document ID. So I'm writing a doc ID over here, and then we need to return, and let's first pass a sync await, and then I need to just write Firebase Firestore dot instance dot collection. Okay, so what collection we need to move? We need to move to the nodes collection. Okay, then what ID we need to update? So I need to write doc, and we need to pass a doc ID. We need to update, so I need to pass update, something like this. Okay, now here what I need to do is that I need to update a headline or a notes field. Okay, so just to update this two field, I need to first get a data. So I'm going to just write a string. So I need to get a updated headline, and then I need to pass string and updated notes. Okay, something like this. Now I need to update that two field, so I need to just write an exact field name. Now make sure that when you're writing the field name, it should be exact. So that's why I'm doing a copy paste work rather than writing a field name directly over here, because if you do any mistake like small letter, capital letter, if you miss any spacing and all, it will simply throw the error. So you make sure that when you pass in field name, it should be exact, right? Now we just need to pass the headline, something like this. So I'm going to just write headline, and then I need to pass our second field name, which is like a nodes. Let's pass a nodes. Okay, I think so it's very clear, right? Now this is how we are going to pass our update function. Now let's handle this case. So we'll move back to the home page, and in the home page I'm going to just do one thing. Like here I'm going to just pass a bool update. Okay, so we are going to just check that whether we are going to update or we are going to add a note, because we are going to just handle this. So like user going to press this, so same dialog box will appear just to add that note, and once we click to this, the same dialog box will appear to update, right? So from one dialog box we are going to handle that two things, right? So that's why I'm going to show you how we are going to do that, right? So now what I'm going to do is that let's move over here, and we are going to not update this. So I'm going passing this false over here, and what I need to do is that over here, once the user click to this pencil icon, I need to just pass a execution. So let's write gesture detector, and in the on tap method I'm going to just write show what was the function name, let me see again. Okay, add note, right? Show add note dialogues, and yes, it is an update function. So I'm going to just write true, not false. Okay, and we need to store these two things over here. So in the set state, what I'm going to do is that let's write headline controller.text is equals to, and we are going to just store the ds headline. So let's copy this and we'll directly paste this over here. Okay, this is for headline. We just need to write nodes controller.text is equals to ds, and let's call our nodes field. Okay, so this is how we need to do this. So once we store that, then we are going to call this, right? Now once we do this, now let's see how it's going to appear. So now we'll click to this plus button. Okay, so you can see that once I click to this plus button, it will simply show me the headline and the notes, right? Now if you are thinking that once I click to this, so once you click to this again, it's going to show me the headline and the notes, so I can simply edit them, right? So now what I need to do is that I'm going to first check that if both the fields are filled or not. Okay, so this is the thing, and here if the update method is true, if the update method is true, then I'm going to just pass like await database methods dot update nodes, and then I need to pass a doc ID. So for the doc ID, what I'm going to do is that here I'm going to just write a string over here, and in the string I'm going to just pass a doc ID, something like this. Okay, so doc ID, we don't need a doc ID once we create a node, but we need this over here. So I'm going to pass ds, and this is why I have wrote a ID over here. So I just need to paste this a document ID, and we don't need any ID over here, so I'm going to keep it blank, right? So this is how we need to handle this. And in the update nodes, I'm going to just pass the document ID, something like this. We need to pass an headline, so I need to write headline controller.text, and then a updated node, so I need to write nodes controller.text. Okay, something like this. Okay, so once we do this, now in the set state I'm going to make that empty. So I'm going to just write headline controller.text and make that empty, and then I need to just write nodes controller.text and make that empty, right? So this is the thing. If update is true, then we are going to update this. If it is not, then we are going to just use a else case, and in the else case I'm going to paste this something over here. Okay, so let's first pop out this as well. Okay, something like this. So by single dialog box I can just handle our two case, which is like an add method and update method, right? So let's hot restart the app and let's see how it's going to work. So I'm going to click to this and I'll just update this headline. So I'll just write I will eat good food, right? I will eat a good food, and I'll just write I will eat some vegetables, etc., right? So this is how I've just pasted this. This is our headline and I've wrote a note. Now we click to the save button and let's see how it's going to work. Okay, and you can see that it just take a few seconds to update this note. I will eat a good food, I will eat some vegetable, etc., right? Now let's see that whether the field has been updated to the Firebase or not. Okay, so we just move over here and you can see that it was before a different headline, but it has been changed to this and the notes through this. Okay, so you can see that how beautifully our update method is working, and we can just update any notes that we want. Okay, now we can just add a headline like new notes as well. So I just write new headline and then I'm going to just write new notes. Okay, so this is the thing. Now click to the save button and you can see that it can just add the another notes as well. So we have just done our third method, which is update. Now let's move to the our fourth method, which is like an delete. Okay, so I'm going to cover a delete right now. So I'm going to just write delete, and in the delete I'm going to delete this respective node that we don't want, right? So I'm going to just write future, and in the future I'm going to just write delete nodes. Okay, and then I need to just pass a string. Again I need a doc id, because what I need that I move to the nodes collection and I simply remove a specific document from here just to delete that node, right? So what I need to do is that here I need to write async, we need to write return, and in the await I'm going to just write database sorry, not a database, I need to write firebase firestore dot instance dot collection and let's pass the collection name like a nodes collection dot doc, which document I need to delete. So I need to pass doc id dot simple, a delete method, right? So this is how you can just delete a respective nodes, right? So now let's move back to the home page, and in the home page what I need to do is that here yeah, so over here in the delete icon I need to just wrap up with a gesture detector, and in the on tap method I'm going to just write async await database methods dot delete nodes. Let's pass ds dot id, or you can pass ds id as well. Okay, so in the both the way you can get a document id, so don't need to worry about that. So let's write this way. Okay, and this is how we can delete our respective nodes. So let's see, let's hot restart this again and we'll click to this, and you can see that it just take a few milliseconds to delete that node. I will delete this as well. Okay, now there is only a single node has been seen over here, so there will be only a single document in the nodes collection. So let's check to the Firebase. So in the nodes collection you can see there is only a single document has been available, which is like I will play cricket, that has been shown in our notes page. Okay, so this is how I have just taught you that how you can use a crude method in the Firebase just to create a document, just to read a document, just to update a document, or just to delete a document. So this is a basic and I think so most important functionality that you need to simply know in the Firebase just to handle the Firebase Firestore in the easiest way as possible, right? So this is what that we have covered in this chapter, right?